Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. My name is Gigi of GigiMadeIt.com. You know, the knitter, the blogger, and the iconic Orange Lady. Coming to you with another episode of What is Gigi doing now? So, what are we going to talk about this week? I'm going to give you an update on my sweater because I am really, really proud of myself. I got mail. And then I just want to talk about my feelings, what's been on my heart, because it's been a year, guys. Tomorrow is exactly a year that I was hospitalized and my world flipped upside down. So I want to talk about it. You ready? Let's get it. And I'm going to apologize in advance. Gunner has a ball, so you're going to hear the squeak in the background. Forgive me. Those of you that have fur babies, you understand. He's just happy as long as the squeak is alive. He has to murder the squeak, and he didn't quite get there yet. Anyway, I'm going to start with I got I got I got mail. I got mail. Forgot the word. Come on in here and see my mail. You know you want to see my mail because I got mail. I can't believe I almost forgot the words. Anyway, so I don't even know where to start with the mail. We're going to start with that's the back side. So, if you watched last episode, you know that I just recently returned from Tulsa, from the flagship, Knit Store flagship, and I hosted the Hot Loops Wall. What's the Hot Loops Wall, Gigi? Remember last year, the Hot Loops Wall was turning hot. Because it featured me last year, had multiple dyers and oranges and orange, accents to orange and the patterns. And what I love about Hot Loops, they do it every quarter. Nope, sorry. I keep saying this wrong. They do it every season. And what I love about it, I think I said last time, for me anyway, I have learned about new dyers that I wasn't aware of. I have learned about new designers that I wasn't aware of, new patterns that I wasn't aware of. So this season, the dyer is Moondrake Co. And it features her yarn. But what they do that I love is in her yarn, they have samples up, right? And one of the samples was this lovely shawl, and it is called Dumpling Skein Shawl by Loretta McCullough, who also happens to be a Knit Stars employee. So this was hanging on one of the mannequins. I want to say it was in in a blue family, the sample. And if you've been with me for 5 minutes or less, you know I love a generous wrap. I love to be able to put a wrap over my shoulders. What's the actress that always, you can't tell me. I love a generous wrap. I love wraparound space. I love to be able to, okay? So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I'm digging this. Now, it's called Dueling Skeins because it takes two bases. It utilizes two bases. And for Rochelle, it is her 100% silk base, and then it's a silk blend. I forget which one, but I'll put links to the wall below. Now, the wall, most of Rochelle's colors on the wall are a very beautiful neutral palette. There ain't nothing neutral about me. Okay, so I was, as I was hosting, I put it on. I said, this has so, I love, I'm babbling because I'm so excited about this piece. I love a functional piece. I love a versatile piece. So this could be casual, just like this, right around your neck. Throw a little jacket over your shoulders, denim jacket, long sleeve white linen shirt. There's so many things you can do with it. Or like I first had it, you can kind of just drape it around your shoulders, right? Which I plan to do because one of my dearest friends is getting married, right? So I plan on, of course, my dress is of the orange persuasion. So I plan on wearing it draped across my shoulders. And I can do that, right? And if it gets a little chilly and I need to cover my head up, I can do that. So, y'all know my famous question. That would be fabulous in orange. Shelly says, oh, well, Gigi, we have leftover Dream Bean and Smoothie in iconic orange. Well, do you now? So she was like, let me see if I can get Loretta to make one for. That would be fabulous. So Loretta was kind enough to make one up for me. And this is Smoothie, which is superwash merino and silk, Muller silk, Mueller silk, some type of silk. So it's a merino and silk blend. And this is Smoothie. Over here, you have Dream Bean, which is merino, cashmere, and silk. So what's the common denominator here? The silk. Never mind the orange. The silk. Let me just take you back a little bit. A few years ago, I don't even remember how many years at this point, but a couple years back, my daughter gave me a surprise birthday party. I'm sure if you hunt through my videos, you'll see a recap of it. It was fabulous. We had a wonderful time. But they were so fancy. They had gift bags. And in the gift bags, Adela dyed exclusive yarn just for the party that was in the gift bag. And it was an orange. The title of it was Aren't You Glad It's Gigi's Birthday? I don't think she's ever, I know for a fact she hasn't dyed it over. And the only people that have it is somebody that was at my birthday party. Anyway, it has silk in it. It's a silk blend. And that was my first time working with silk. So, I think I said to you guys when I first started knitting, I had no idea bases, yarn weights. I had no idea. I think I shared with you the story that my nail tech at the time, when I was just crocheting, and I had made one of those spiral scarves that everybody makes, and she wanted one, but she was like, can you make it in cashmere? And I was like, where am I gonna get cashmere from? Like, I was so green in the industry, and there's still things that I'm still learning. For example, the impact of the content of the yarn that you have, the impact on the piece of material that you wind up with. So the reason that I love can you just see? Can you see the first the sheen, and that's the silk, baby. Can we talk about silk? What that song say? Let's talk about sex. No, let's talk about silk, baby. Let's talk about silk and me. Because listen, look at the drape. Look at the sheen. And this side is silk. This is merino, cashmere, and silk. I don't know that I ever want anything that doesn't have just a hint of silk in it. Silk just changes everything. So I was so very happy to get this in the mail. So what we are going to do is, I didn't realize that there was so much iconic orange left. I guess it's kind of going along the lines that not everybody loves orange. And I'm fine with that. More for me. No, I'm only kidding. So we are, working on having some things made up in Dream Bean and Smoothie to show people why they need to get with it, and why they need to get with it in orange, in the iconic orange specifically. So seriously, if you like this, again, this pattern is called dueling skeins. And again, it's dueling skeins because you have two separate bases. I am going to put the link to the wall. So if you want to go with any of the neutral bases or any of the colors that Rochelle of Moondrake has dyed up that's on the wall, I will give you access to that. And I will go, if you are an orange lover like I am, if you are team, but is it orange though? I'm going to give you the link to get the Dream Bean and, I'm sorry, the Smoothie and the Dream Bean, because it takes one of each. So it's not a whole bunch of yarn, but this is a staple piece. So give you some details. So you got your little ribbing at the end. It's, you know, you got a salvage edge, basic stockinette, and I think this would be the perfect knit and chill kind of project. You know, you listening to an audiobook like I always do, just mindless. And once you give this baby a bath and block it to dimensions, you have you a fabulous, it's just for grown folks. So if you ain't grown and sexy, you can't. This for grown folks. Seriously. Dueling Skein shawl. I'm going to put the link to the wall. I'm going to put the link to the pattern on Ravelry, because if you purchase the kit from the wall, the pattern comes with it. If you're looking for the orange version or the Gigi version of it, then you need to get the pattern off Ravelry, and then you need a skein of each. One of Dream Bean and one of Smoothie. So that was one thing I got in the mail. The other thing I'm going to talk about when I get into my whip, and then this next mail thing, I'm going to combine with what's coming up next. Okay. So I always like to have my next project in my head, at least. Once I have it in my head, then I start doing a mental, what do I have in my stash that I can use, right? Which base, because we know it's orange, duh. But which base am I going to use? So in this case, Magpie Fibers came up with a new summer collection. And I opened the email, and the first thing that jumped out at me, and I want to say it's about, is it 5 or 6 new shades for the summer in multiple bases? But the orange jumped off the screen and like grabbed me by my PJs and pulled me upright to make me pay attention, because I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So let's talk about silk, baby. One of the bases that the new color comes in is their Equinox. And Equinox is a 65-35 silk and linen. 65-35 silk and linen. You heard me. You heard me. So this is, and I'm just going to let her, you know, be in your face. Let me get my face out the way so you guys can see her. She is the star, not me. So this is the Equinox worsted. I'm going to put a picture right here of the Soho top, I believe it's called, by Caidree, that I'm going to make with this. So think of similar to the top that I have on. It has I-cord edging all the way around. It has like this really simple but detailed seaming on the side. It's all garter. So I was going to try to purchase this, but I wasn't sure because the pattern is holding two strands of yarn together at the same time to make the weight, which is worsted ultimately. But I couldn't figure out math ain't my thing. I couldn't figure out how many skeins I needed, so I had to call Kayla because the sweater is something, the tank top that she recommended. So I'm like, I need help. I don't know how many skeins. Oh, we'll send it to you, Gigi. I was trying to avoid that. I wanted to purchase, but I give back to them by letting you guys see what it is that I have, letting you know where I got it from. And that's why I take you along with me every little step with my projects, because I love them and I want you to go and support them and love them too. So I'm going to put a picture of what's next right here for you guys. And I will put a link to the summer collection. This is called Ce Soir. You know, the song by Patti LaBelle. Voulez ou say ce soir. I never say it right. That song. Lady Marmalade. Be a lady marmalade. What? However the words say. Dun 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 dun. Ooh let ce soir. That's the name of this one. So I'm going to link you. Put in a link to the summer collection. There's some beautiful, beautiful colors. If you're not following Magpie Fibers on Instagram, you should, because Kayla, who is their marketing person, does a fantastic job at putting colors together, showing you different projects that would work wonderful, how you can combine the colors, these colors with other existing colors in the shop. So check it out. But again, new summer collection, limited time too. It's limited. So when you see this, check out the link, see if there's something that you want, and go get it now. Don't be sending me messages saying, Gigi, I can't find. Limited edition. Go now. So now we're going to talk about, let's talk about my whip. Ain't she cute? Ain't she cute, guys? Okay, so this is the Pappas pullover. Once again, the Hot Loops wall is how I was introduced to this project. Naturally, the sample in the store is a very pretty linen color shade, neutral, and actually it's in a different base. This is her Moco, but what's on the wall is the Fuwa, and the Fuwa has cashmere. I'm gonna ask her why she didn't dye that in this colors, but you know, beggars can't be choosy, because I didn't even ask her. This was a gift. Anyway, I digress. I think last time I was here, we talked about this and the unique construction, right? Because this, you cast on from one sleeve all the way over to the other. You're working flat until you get to a certain inch, and then you are binding off for your neckline and then casting on. So you do the back first, you bind off for the neck, you cast on, and then you keep going till you get to the depth that you need for your sleeve. It's a 3-needle bind off, and then no sleeve island. Like, I'm in the round now. Like, I'm cooking with gas at this point. And the pattern is solid. I did the striping because that was the gift that she gave me, the 2 colors. So at first I was like, I would do color block, the front one color and the back another color, but that because of the construction, I wasn't sure how I was going to accomplish that. So I vouched to stripe it, and I'm loving it. I am super, super, super pleased. Super pleased. So the other mail was, I asked her for more. Thought I was gonna need more yarn, and I really just wanted one of each, but she sent me 2 of each, and I may not need it. I may not need it. This pattern is one size fits all, so you know I was like, all of what? Fits all of who? Have you met me? Have you met the twins? So I was prepared that I was going to have to increase, add some stitches on the side. But I'll put a picture here. I tried her on. Perfection. And this is before it's blocked. So once it's blocked, it turns into this really airy, light piece of material. It did on the other base anyway, and I'm thinking the same thing is going to happen with this. So no additions, no additional modifications required to make room for the girls. So I was very happy with that. So now it's just a matter of, how do I want it cropped, right? Do I want to, just go a little further and do the ribbing, because this has a ribbing bottom too on it. Or am I going to go a little longer? I haven't decided that. I'm going to put it on the longer needles again and try it on and see where it's falling and how I like, where it falls. But I am super pleased. Don't know that I would have ever used, can you see the texture, yarn like this, had I not seen the project. Because again, once it's blocked, it turns into this really, like, if I could stretch it so you guys can see, it just really turns into this nice airy piece. The full does anyway, and I'm assuming that this is going to do the same. And even if it doesn't, it still is very light because it's on a bigger needle. I'm using a US 10 for this, and I'm following, like I said, I'm following pattern as written. I haven't made any modifications. It offers you a long sleeve version, and I think had I done the long sleeve version, I truly would have needed more yarn. But I opted for the 3/4, and the sleeve like hits right here for me, which is perfect. And I'm loving the boat neck, because at this stage of my life and the power surges, I'm loving the boat neck. So I'm really pleased with this. And like I said, I am cooking with gas. I fully expect to be finished with this really soon, and I'm going to roll right into the Soho top. The other thing, I'm waiting for my yarn to come. Have you guys seen that little cute Purl Soho bag? I'll put a picture of that here too. Super cute. That's another linen project. So I thought, because I have a sample box from Soho that has all these different bases and shades of orange, right? So I really thought I had this linen that they recommend, but I didn't. So I ordered a skein. It only calls for 1 skein, and it's the cutest little bag. So I'm gonna do that. So after this, I'm gonna do that Soho top. I don't think that should take long, and then I'm gonna do that bag. And at some point, I need to put my Corrine cardigan from last year together, because I finished all the skeins, all the squares, and then I got sick, and I never is comfortably at home in my my traveler's case. Is that what the name of it? The case from Delacue, train case. So it's packed in my train case, and I haven't looked at it since. So at some point I need to finish that. So those are the plans. That's what's happening in the world of knitting. And now I just want to wrap up and just kind of talk to you for a minute. So I'm gonna knit while I say this, so I keep my my mind focused and I don't get too emotional. But today is June 7th, which means tomorrow is June 8th. And last year on June 8th is when I was admitted to the hospital. Most of you know by now I was in the hospital for damn near a month. I want to say it was like 27, 28 days, something like that. I went in on the 8th and I think I was home July 5th or something like that. At any rate, I was in there one day too many. And I was a very, very sick lady. And I was afraid. I'll be honest and say to you guys that I wasn't sure that I was going to see another year. I was that kind of sick. It couldn't get my oxygen levels right. My kidneys wasn't behaving. My bladder wasn't behaving. It was just a hot mess. So I say all this to say, although I was afraid, I refused to give up. Although I was afraid, I refused to sink into the darkness that was hovering around me everywhere. I knew, if for no other reason other than that child of mine, that I needed to figure out how to get this right. And it was a long journey. I came home, and even after I was home for a long time, I came home with the catheter. I still couldn't go to the bathroom by my own. I don't even know how long I was home before I was able to go walk Gunner in the morning like I usually do. My skin was an utter mess. My hair was falling out. I mean, I would wash my hair and I was clumps of hair. It was just not a good time. If I had to say, like, my body was revolting on me. But the silver lining in it all, I'm here to tell this story. I am here, thank God, and thank whoever else, whatever powers that be, whatever angels, whatever in me, that tenacity to just keep going. Although I cried many nights, although many nights I did not sleep because I was so afraid, but I am here. We made it through. I don't want to keep saying something was the worst thing ever to happen to me, because it seemed like every time I say that, my life is like, oh, you think that's worse? Watch this. So we're going to stop giving it levels, because the way my life is set up, you think that was bad? Hold my orange yarn, right? So, but I'm saying this to say to you guys all that if you are in a dark space, if life has you in a chokehold, if life has knocked you down and has its knee in your back, don't give up. Don't give up mentally. You might need to relax physically. In my case, I needed to give my body time, but my heart and my soul never gave up, right? I cried, I journaled. Thank God they convinced me that I needed to go to therapy, and I do that now. That has helped me know that I wanted to live for me, right? I'm still a baby. I'm getting ready to just hit chapter 57. There's so much more life for me to live. And I am so very proud that I'm here. Because honestly, there was a time when I wasn't sure, but I'm here, right? The other side of that is you all. I have to thank you. Like I've said it before, but the support that I have had from this community, hands down, bar none, I don't know that anybody can say just the way that you all reached out and took care of Shelby. She didn't have to cook. How many of you sent her Cash Apps? How many of you sent her Uber Eats? How many of you sent her, Grubhub, just packages? She, at some point, seems like, Mommy, if you give one more person this address, I'm going to fight you. And I was like, my bad. Then when I got home, it took me months. And I'm still finding cards that I never opened up. I can't tell you. And then, Madeline Tosh, the fundraiser that they did for me, just, I'm getting chills because blessed, okay? blessed. I have a community around me that I have built. I won't give that to anyone else. That is all me, being me, showing up as me, showing up often on purpose as me, has built this community that I have grown to love. And clearly this community loves me, because I don't know that I would have made it without you guys. So if you are in that number, if you was afraid to send me a message because Shelby threatened the whole internet to not send me any messages. She put everybody on babysitting duties. If you see her online, make her get off and then tell me where you seen her. So it was, if you were any of those people, if you reached out to her instead of me checking on her, if you sent cards to Adela's P.O. box, because Adela sent me a box full of cards and gifts and that people were sending to her, if you drove Adela up the wall trying to figure out if I was okay, you know, if you went and purchased something orange, whether it was from Madeline Tosh or La Bien Ami or Knit Stars, whatever you did that you knew ultimately would impact me, thank you. I don't know if anyone has ever been that sick where you have to be on disability. You know, you pay all this money all your life for insurance, and the hoops and the backflips and handstands that you have to do to get what's due to you is a nightmare. So, you know, we got to a point where the money was funny and I wasn't laughing. But all things unfold as they should, because just when, and just like always, just when I think my back is totally up against the wall and I have no, I'm stuck, here comes this, here comes that, here comes the other. So I'm saying all this to say, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. But what I want you to walk away from this is there's always after fill in the blank. There's always life after fill in the blank. Last year I was fill in the blank, but the key there is last year, right? How many years ago I thought fill in the blank? How many years ago? The key is it was how many years ago, and you are still here to look back and to tell that story, right? So yeah, it gets hard. Yeah, you're afraid, you're scared, you're not sure. I mean, I'm not married. It's just me and Shelby, and scared, okay? Scared. But I'm here. I can look back and talk to you about last year, right? Gigi made it. Gigi made it through yet another storm. So me and my orange umbrella are going to keep going. And come what may, might knock me down, might slow me off, might get me off track, but I'm not going to stop. And I don't want you to stop either. So I'm going to stop there before I start crying, because we're not doing that. And if you are on the East Coast and you are impacted by this smoke from the fire in Canada, please be careful and take care of yourself. Everybody gets upset about the masks, but thank God we have them, because you need to put them on now if you're in this area, because I'm in New Jersey and it smells like smoke. It looks like smoke. I'm making you guys laugh. My lovely daughter left out the house yesterday and she texted me. She said, "Mommy, are my glasses dirty? Because the air looked funny." Only my kid. But so be careful. Second, if you're new here, hi, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. I try to stay consistent at least once a week or so. Sometimes it pushes into a second week, but I try to stay consistent. So hit subscribe. Put your notification bell on so you're notified when I do upload. Talk to me in the comment. Tell a friend. If you have an orange lover, share me with them. If you have somebody that just likes to look at the positive side of life, share me with them. If you have somebody that likes to knit, share me with them. And most importantly, Have a fabulous rest of the week on purpose, and I will see you guys next time.